So today I'm going to talk a little bit about my new Filofax. This is my favorite new thing. It is a wallet and a planner all in one, and it is great. So it zips up all the way around. It holds a pen. So I've got a micron here with archival ink, which I really like. Room for money and cards. Pocket. And then in the back, there's some more room for pockets and cards. And this is like a stretchy pocket here. So it functions perfectly as a wallet, and then it has this nice little planner area here. So this is a personal size Filofax binder. It does slide out if you want to get rid of it, but I really like it. It doesn't hold a lot, so this one's pretty thin compared to a normal size planner, but I kind of like that because it forces me to prioritize what I'm going to put in here and to keep it simple. So I used a little bit of artwork. It was a Christmas card given to me by one of my graduate students. Nice little watercolor that she did. So I wanted to save it, and I thought it was really pretty. So I put it in there as my front page. Then in my little dashboard area, I have the GTD, or Getting Things Done, workflow. So I just printed that out myself to remind me of how I want to flow my inbox. So I find that method really helpful. As a professor, I have tons and tons of projects and lots of priorities that are competing all at the same time. So I find this really helpful for keeping my inbox clear and for making sure I don't forget anything. So for getting things done, just like it says. I also have a next action list. This is a general one in case there's something that I really want to focus on or that doesn't really fit into a project yet. A waiting for list. So anything I need to wait for someone else or follow up on later. A someday maybe list, which right now is blank, but I'm sure there will be lots to add very soon. And then I come to my first section, which is goals. So for 2020, I just have 3 main goals. I want to lose some weight and get back into shape. I want to submit an awesome tenure application in September, and I want to pay off some debts. Those are my big goals. I've got room there for a little bit more if I need. Then my next section is the calendar. So all these I just made with cardstock from the dollar store. They are getting a little bit worn. You can see the edges are getting a little bit sloppy. So, maybe down the road I will laminate them so they're a little more sturdy. But for now, it's okay. This is my calendar section. And what I chose to do is do the month on 2 pages. So this is a template that I downloaded from filofaxy.com and or .blog. Anyway, Filofax's blog. They've got lots of different templates that you can print yourself. I did it this way so I could have all 12 months and have at least enough space to put in the things that I needed to put in. So I still do maintain an Outlook calendar, and that allows me to put in, everything for the day. But these are just the main things that I wanted to have in my calendar. So I've got all 12 months there, and the little stickers are just for my paydays, so I remember when those are. I did keep this one. This is the annual calendar that Filofax has that came with it. And they also had planning pages that were a week on 2 days. And I found it was just a little too big to leave it in with all the other sections that I wanted to add. So if you just wanted the diary pages, it would have been fine to keep. But I wanted to tailor mine the way I wanted it. But I did keep this one. It has 2019 and 2021 as well, just for reference. That's actually really helpful when you're planning things like classes, like what dates do I have class, that kind of stuff. I made this bookmark that I can move around for today, and that's for each week. So I put the week on one page, and then I have a weekly review. So a little section for weekly goals, try to keep that to 3 or less to really stay focused. I tend to bite off a little bit more than I can chew every week, and then I end up feeling like I didn't do enough because I tried to do too much. So this week, I really wanted to get ready for my week 1 of teaching. I wanted to prepare for our strategic planning day and also work out 4 times. So those are my priorities, and then for each day, I could write in what I wanted to focus on and a little section for notes, which I haven't used yet. So we'll see if that ends up being a good use of space or if I want to adjust the template. This was a template that I made for myself, so it'd be easy for me to change it. Then I made this weekly review page. And so at the end of the week, I'm going to go look back at my week and I'm going to reflect on what was the happiest thing that happened, what were my 3 big wins, and then I'm going to go back to my 3 big goals and assess my progress. Did I spend my time well this week, and how might I improve it next week? And then there's a section for my biggest lesson, which there's always lots, especially when you're teaching and doing research. And then I have that just each page I have until the end of January. So once the month is up, I'll take those pages out and I'll put in new pages for February, and I'll adjust the layout as I need to. So the next section that I made was my project section. And because of my job, I have a ton of different areas of focus, if you want to call them that. So the first one would be teaching. And so what I've done is I've made a project page for each class I'm teaching. So next term I'm teaching health and wellness, which I'm really excited about. But this gives me just my next action list for teaching for that class. So it's like a context and a project. If you're following GTD, I kind of like to do it by project. The next one is my other class, determinants of health. So I have a little bit of a longer list in there right now, but you can see I've been doing lots of work to get things set up. So then I come to research, and in there I have, I think, 9 or so different research projects. So there's a page for each of those. Then I've got service. So for example, I am the graduate curriculum committee chair, so I've got a list in there for that. And for each of these little dividers, I just used a page of a coloring book. So it's a little bit of a thin cardstock, and I can color in the back if I happen to be in a meeting that's boring. Not that that ever happens. But it's just a nice little divider for each area of focus. Then I've got my graduate students. I have a page for each of my students and what they're working on. I have a section for Humber. So we have a collaborative nursing program with Humber College in Toronto. And this year I'm the acting assistant dean for that. So lots of different things to work on for that. And then my personal section as well for personal projects. Then the last section that I chose is my budget. So I've got a budget sheet for January in here, and then I've got my envelopes. So I've got food, money, and rec and leisure, and those are the only envelopes I have this month because I'm really trying to focus on paying off debt. So I only took out cash for those things, and the rest are bills, and then whatever's left over is for debt repayment. So that is it for my Filofax. Thanks for listening. I really love this little thing, and I don't know, I feel a little bit more organized. So there you go.